Listener discretion is advised.
Oh yeah.
Before I was enlightened, I was searching for approval from my friends, trying to fit right in the box that they created for me. But whoa, thank God that my eyes opened up. You should do the same if you are feeling like you just want to break free.
Guess what, Florida?
What's going on?
All right. My name is Andrew,
And I'm Lane.
and you are sitting on the musician's couch with our very special guest who, honestly, you should be sitting in between us. I don't know why you're not.
Oh,
But,
you want to make this a sandwich?
I mean, that was the whole point.
I'll
I mean, technically, you're not
I'll be the
sitting-
meat between your buns, guys.
Technically, you're not sitting on the musician's couch. This
Here
weird.
he comes over.
Here he comes.
All right.
This weird motherfucker. This is actually
I
our
am
very
a
first.
motherfucker, actually.
Yeah, this is our very first guest on the show. So
Yes, it
everyone
is.
say hello to Wizzy Incognito.
Hi.
That was really loud, but okay.
I think you actually spiked into Andrew's.
Yeah, I think I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, you kind of did.
Because I'm always looking at you, baby.
Fuck it, go back over there.
Oh my god, this is the perfect thing to listen to right after the music drops.
Oh man.
Right? Okay, so yeah, for those of you that don't know, Wizzy Incognito is a. Is it okay to call you famous? All right.
I don't know. I don't like to. I'm a millennial. I don't like to put labels on myself.
Okay, so he's a millennial guitarist, and he plays in a band called The Real Clash because the other Clash wasn't legit enough. So
So this one's the real one,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, this is the official one.
not the
it's,
fake one.
it's TRC official.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys did shorten your name to TRC.
Yeah, because no one ever spelled the Real Clash correctly. Like it was either small T for the and then Real Clash in like all caps. There's a lot
Wait,
of yeah.
How does that even happen?
Yeah, how do you screw that up?
Yeah, I don't know. We changed it to TRC and people still fuck it up. Like I got a message from some dude the other day who was like he had accidentally put TTC official. I'm like, this is great.
Wow.
Like
That's
we
insane.
shortened it to 3 letters. Motherfuckers still can't do it right.
Oh, okay then. That's. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on that. That's.
It's difficult. It's a lot to think about. And
He had
like,
already known you were the real Clash, but he can't shorten the 3 letters into.
no, dude,
TRC
it's too
is-
complicated. Like I'm like just ready to just call our band L for losers because
No,
You know,
don't do that. You guys are the real Clash. You are realer than any other Clash ever in Florida.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Have you ever heard "Lost in the Supermarket"? It's a great song.
Eh,
I'm all lost in the supermarket. I came along to shop happily. I came in for the special offers, guaranteed personality.
is that one of your songs?
No, that was from the Fake Clash.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm more of a Rock the Casbah kind of guy. But
There's a lot of punk people who you just outraged.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
I'm
but-
gonna leave to go home, and there's gonna be a riot outside.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the only following we'll ever have is like an enemy following. Just a whole bunch of people like outside, like you guys suck.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, it's. I mean, well,
I mean that we've had that fame before the podcast started. So I mean, what's new?
yeah, like we play in TRC, we get that shit all the time.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, I mean, like, long story short, actually, Andrew plays a big role with me in TRC. Would you like to, Karen, tell him how and why
As far as
everything?
everything. Okay.
Like, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning of all this.
So I woke up in a doctor's office, and
I think everyone does. That's called childbirth.
fuck. Okay. So So I'm not really a big social media guy. Like seriously, like I'll use Facebook like everyone else, but then the rest of them I'm kind of clueless. I don't know how to use Instagram. I got into Twitter a few years back, and I posted a video of me with an audio interface. It's actually the one that we're using right now to record this podcast. And it was like day one I posted that.
Reduce,
And-
reuse, recycle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, that's not gonna click. It's
like,
it is a weird mic. But that's okay.
okay.
You're the guest. So I posted a video of me playing dubstep violin-y things on Twitter, and Jayak actually got back to me with the Real Clash Twitter handle, and we were tweeting each other back and forth. Is that the right terminology to tweet
Yes.
somebody? Okay.
You were twitting each other.
Okay, so we were twiddling
Right.
each other. And yeah, and we were talking about it. It's like, hey, we should collab. He's like, yeah, cool. I'm like, all right, nice. And then we never did. And yeah, so I shortly after I started going to SBC for the Mira program, and I saw a post from a guy named Jay Wilson, and I had no idea who he was except that his logo, his Facebook profile picture, it said TRC, and it said looking for guitarist. And I'm like, oh, hey, dude, I'm that dude from Twitter. He's like, oh, you're that dude. I'm like, yeah, I'm that dude.
That dude.
You need a guitarist? So I'm pretty sure like I only knew you for like maybe a couple months back then, right?
Yeah, he had really high hopes of me for a short period of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but
Yeah,
you know,
really
shit
messed up.
happens.
Yeah, you really fucked up.
so I'm like, so yeah, I meet up with you. I'm like, hey, so I mean, it's not a rock band, but it's a hip hop band. You want to do it? And he's like, wait, what made you think I listen to rock? I'm all about hip hop. I'm like, wait, what happened to you?
Yeah, it was like, well, because he said hip hop band, so now I'm like, oh, someone actually wants me, so I got to change now.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess you met up with them, and you did the first practice, and then I texted you after. I'm like, hey, how'd it go? And you're like, oh, you made it in. I'm like, okay, all right.
It was like really quick. It was like having a one night stand, and like she was just too lazy to get out of bed, and you're like, oh fuck it, I guess I'll just stick around.
I don't think that analogy kind of fits, but
Are you sure?
I mean, if you
I feel like TRC's used and abused right now, man.
fuck.
should we post this one?
Totally. They'll love it. They know exactly what I'm talking about. They'll be fine with it.
All right then.
All right, if anyone is a guitarist out there and looking for a hip hop band, I think
Stop. Stop. That's not fair. We're not holding auditions until after the podcast.
Yeah, at least wait till it's posted.
okay, yeah.
No early contact.
So yeah, that's pretty much how that happened, right?
Yeah, and like the funniest thing about like, okay, so I didn't get to meet up with them before a gig. I actually got to meet up with them at a gig. So they were playing at a hotel in Wesley Chapel, ironically enough, right next to where Bryant Harp from Samurai Shotgun lives.
No way.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so like it's literally like 5 minutes from his house. And so I had drove over there, and I was the first person there. Ironically enough. That still happens till this day.
to be fair, the one show I played with you guys, I got there at 2:00. No one showed up for like another 2 hours.
Yeah, I have learned my lesson. Anyways,
Did they make you wear the TRC shirt at first?
yeah, but that's because because what they, excuse me, I am not gonna hold back my guesses.
Seriously though, is that like an intern thing?
No, what at first what they had told me was that like, hey, we're doing it, and like the rest of the band did do it, like Isaac, Jay, Rashad, and Eliana, and everyone else didn't, because first like like who was drumming with us, Natalie. She just wears whatever she wanted, and then Jordan, how Jordan is.
Yeah.
Jordan's just like,
I don't know how Jordan is.
Jordan
is probably the most well dressed at the show.
But it's not even only that. It's just like Jordan is the most forgetful, straight edge person you'll ever meet in your life. It is, that man could forget who he was within a minute. And that's no exaggeration. I seen him forget to play a certain thing he was playing not even less than a minute ago.
Good Lord.
I've had one hilarious interaction with him, and you were there too.
Yeah.
It was at a studio down in Largo, I believe. And for those of you that don't know who Richard Cheese is, he is he's a cover artist. But he does all of these famous popular songs in like a jazzy lounge style setting. And
I love him.
You've heard him before?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, so I standing in the middle of the studio after the rehearsal was over, I pulled up My Neck, My Back.
That's the greatest fucking song.
And everybody's listening to it and everybody's laughing. I did not know that Jordan was a Christian.
Heavily devout.
So this, I really did offend him, and I'm so sorry, Jordan. But he darted out of the studio as soon as he heard swear words, and I think he ran down the street.
Yeah,
he was done.
I'm pretty sure he ran to his car to get his earplugs.
And I was like, "What did I do? What did I do?" And I had no idea.
Yeah, and then I was laughing even harder because I think I was the only one that realized what really happened to Jordan. And you know what? I don't feel bad. I kind of wanted him to experience that. It's okay to have a little dirt under your shoulders, Jordan. It's okay to get a little lint in your pocket, man. Okay, so back to the whole thing of the band. So I was the first person to get there, so it took me like at least a good 20 minutes till the first member showed up, and that was Isaac, ironically.
Really?
Isaac was the first person to show up. And I looked at Isaac and I was like, hey, do you by any chance know the band that's going to be playing today? He was like, oh, no, I just know my band.
That sounds like something Isaac would say.
Yeah. I was like, oh, so what's your band? He's like, TRC. I'm like, oh.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for the real Clash.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking for The Revolution Continues.
Oh. So we're gonna get to that in a minute.
Yeah, don't worry.
That's a whole other story.
That's another 20-minute story.
I feel so involved in this conversation. It's
Well,
like I know
don't.
everything. Okay. That's my cue to go.
Lane, you're demoted to the chair.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna.
I swear, if I have to move my mic stand just to make you angry, I will.
Don't you fucking dare.
So we had I had said like, oh, that's I'm your new guitarist. He's like, wait, what? And so he sends a message to Jay. He's like, oh, so Jay just sent me a message saying, yeah, I was supposed to meet you. I was like, oh, okay. Well, looks like no one else knows.
Huh.
And so Jay had sent a group message to like the rest of like the group, and he had finally told the rest of them. So Jay was actually the last person to arrive. So like, I didn't know how anyone in the band really looked like. I didn't even really know how Jay looked like because a lot of his profile photos were photos of like inanimate objects, like the keys to a Mercedes and like this Impala that had pulled up to his job. And I'm just like, This is the kind of guy that wears like a Dirty South beanie.
Oh.
So, like, how big was TRC when you joined them? Were they big at all, or was
Well,
it like
they're actually pretty well known, honestly. Like, and they were still well known at the time, but I wasn't really in the local music scene. I was just a bedroom guitarist who had like kind of just met the right person at the right time. That's pretty much all it really was. It was just
Okay.
like a happening of things. But like I already had somewhat knowledge about like music and like a little bit about production, and it expanded over the years and so all that stuff. But I had a lot of knowledge in the technicality of like like guitar wiring and repair and all that good stuff. So I actually met a lot of people through that. But TRC was a pretty big deal. You know what I mean? Like they weren't the average band. It wasn't just like, oh, we're just a garage band. No, like this is a band that's played like huge shows. Like they opened up for Redman and Method Man. They did stuff at we've done stuff at Gasparilla. We did Okeechobee Music Festival. Like we've done a lot of actual like big shows. But I had like once again, it was just a really rare thing to happen, and Andrew just had happened to meet the guy that I would become best friends with,
Hmm.
which was just ironic. It was just weird, and it was just really
It's
just
fate.
it was really fate. Like
That's awesome.
honestly, yeah, it was very outlandish because, like I said, I had not told like I was trying to collab with anyone. Actually, believe it or not, Ethan Monk had sent me a track about 5 days ago.
Really?
Remember that one first track we actually worked on? It was called "We'll Go Somewhere."
I do remember that. It had like a really cool little synth line in it that
Yeah.
I really dug. That's
That's
it.
He actually finally finished it.
Ethan still doesn't talk to me.
I'm sorry, Ethan. Ethan was actually messaging me the other day, and like he uploaded his SoundCloud, and he used the same original recordings I made 3 years ago.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
and so the issue about it is that he actually had a really good friend, Billy Pratt, who had worked at Vintech Audio, which I have like a little run in with too. And he actually has a nice studio that he's building up there in Sefner, like really nice, not like just an average studio. Like this is like a very competent studio. Like he has a lot of math and behind it and everything. And he had asked Ethan, how did you get that sample of that guitar? And all we did was that I positioned his 58 that he had at the right place on my amp, because I had this GVT 112 amp peg, and I had placed the mic at the perfect place, and then we just recorded it the correct way through GarageBand.
Nice.
And I had met like other friends like Alan K. Fink
Mm-hmm.
and all those guys through that sample. And he was just like, I had been getting messages from people like, dude, how'd you record that? And I was like, I don't know, it just was.
Alan is one of the biggest Run the Jewels fans I've ever met.
Yeah, he's devout.
He was into them before they were a well-known band, actually.
And he's like actually like a pretty good producer from what I heard.
He talks all the time about his software, and a lot of it even goes over my head. So
He's actually pretty intelligent. He seems like he knows what he's doing, but he's got a family now, so he's got to spend a lot of time doing that too. So whenever you're ready, Alan, call me. But
Alan, if you're listening to this right now,
I just wanted to let you know that I'm wearing my robe with nothing under it,
while sitting on the musician's couch.
rubbing myself.
Is that
Okay, Mr.
is
CK.
is that how our guests are gonna make their mark on the podcast? Is
all the time.
The
That's
the mark on the couch.
Yeah,
is
that,
the mark on the couch?
that's how it works on the casting couch. I mean, the musician's couch, but it's okay. So
Ooh, you bet your ass I'll be putting my work in. So,
there's a reason there's a hole on that cushion you're sitting on. And now he looks for it.
shit. I don't what? Where
What?
does that hole go? Where does it go?
So moving on, we've got we we've got a brand new single actually that your band just put out.
And how long ago was this? The single?
We released it about a month ago, I
Okay.
would say. Yeah. It's a nice little progression. We had that has worked through the band for a couple of years now. We've actually performed it more than a lot of the songs that we have now. And ironically, it's actually to a lot of our loyal fans that who go out to our shows, it's actually something that's not that new. But to everybody else who doesn't know nothing about our band because we're not that big, it's so new to you.
That's really cool, actually. I really like the idea of that. Kind of like an exclusive for the people who actually show up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just like we always create songs, like Andrew knows this very well. We always create jams and songs that end up like really sounding good, and then we don't do anything with them whatsoever.
I think this is one of those few songs where that riff, that leading riff, is just it's really infectious.
I fell in love with the riff as soon as it started.
And I think, so were you around for the writing of this song?
I was right after the first writing of the song, because they had played it, I think, for one of the first times on WMNF with the original guitarist, like not even like maybe more than 5 months before I joined the band.
Okay.
So it was very recent. So the writing must have been like about a good, I would say at least a good year before I joined the band, but it wasn't publicly released until like not even less than a year before it started. So I would say I was around the time right after they first played it.
Okay.
So I was not around for the writing, but I was totally around to trot that thing as it was my own.
And honestly, I've heard you play it live. I think you kill it. So.
Oh, definitely. I mean, so I guess we're just going to listen to it.
Without further ado, this is TRC with their new single, Passport.
Thank you for flying with TRC Airlines. Please fasten your seatbelt as we approach the runway to take off.
I'm leaving. Good thing I just renewed my passport. I'm off to Kuala Lumpur to enjoy roti on banana leaf and cornucopia. Paying my respects to the Lord of Hagia Sophia. But my dream is to be careening with a Phoenician feature sweeter than Priyanka or Quantico on Monaco beaches. It's a glorious Sunday. As the Airbus shuttles down the runway, I knew I'd be out of here one day.
Passport, baby, I'm also official 50 states here. I'm bonus girl. On the first flight out of here, we can spend my sauce all over. I'm jetting out, I'm jetting out, I'm going, jetting out. I just see the whole world, got my passport, I'm ready to go. I got a show with Tokyo, so I gotta go. Brush up on my Japanese. Konnichiwa, arigato, sayonara. You know I love it when I'm overseas. I'm a passport, baby, I'm also official 50 states here. I'm bonus girl. On the first flight out of here, we can spend my sauce all over. I'm jetting out, I'm jetting out, I'm going, jetting out. I can see the whole world, got my passport, I'm ready to go.
Last week Brazil, this week is Marrakesh. Then I'm on to France, cause I ain't been to Paris yet. Frequent flyer miles, keep me smiling while I'm on a secret island. Wildin' out, eating crocodile. Everybody hates me like the son of Rochelle, cause I'm in Fiji in the underwater hotel. Tropical shark been swimming by me all week, but I'm napping. What should I call it, a deep sleep? Ha ha.
I'm jetting out, I'm jetting out, I'm going, jetting out. I can see the whole world, got my passport, I'm ready to go. I got my passport, baby, I'm so
told you that lead riff was infectious.
I love it. What guitarists have inspired you to come up with riffs like that?
Nice segue.
Right?
There's actually a lot. You know what? I'm gonna go in depth with that.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So like, I say I have a lot. Like anyone who knows me, I always say that someone's my favorite. But usually, the reality about it is that every one of these guitarists are my favorite. And I just have to go down the line. Doesn't matter the order, but it goes Frank Zappa, Jimmy Page, the guitarist from the Police. His chord game was stupid strong.
Oh yeah.
Jeff Beck. I'm a huge Jeff Beck fan. Excuse me. Sorry. Gotta burn it out. I'm trying to think of the other ones on top of my head. I would have to say Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's another
Nice.
immaculate guitarist. Jimi Hendrix, definitely.
I was just about to ask.
Jimi Hendrix definitely is like a huge influence on my playing style. Robert Fripp from King Crimson,
Oh, okay.
another amazing guitarist. We have Josh Martin from Little Tybee.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that guy. Oh my God, that guy.
You mentioned Jimi Hendrix. Do you realize that everyone who lists Jimi Hendrix as an inspiration, none of them were old enough to remember him actually playing when he was alive?
I don't think a lot of the people who actually listen to Jimi Hendrix really remember him playing at all. I think I think there's only a handful of people who have ever got to see him because he didn't have that long of a career.
Right.
Right.
And he was only 27 when he died, right?
Yeah, and he had started his career around 24, 23 or something like that.
Right.
Well, because he was playing for other bands, but he never really like played like what people really know him for, which is like like All Along the Watchtower and
Right.
Hey Joe. Like he was in his later years already.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, he had a very short career, so not a lot of people really even saw him.
Right. And like 90% of that handful would be everyone that was at Woodstock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or people who are still alive from
definitely, and
that.
people who had like surprisingly had saw him when he was like when there's one time where he actually got on stage with Eric Clapton.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
a true story where Eric Clapton actually walked off stage because he was jealous of Jimmy's playing.
Right.
Because Jimmy, I mean, come on, I mean that guy was a phenomenal player. Like
Yeah.
he really created his own tone. And like I said, his career was short lived, but I guarantee you, if you would have let him just flourish a little bit, he would have really changed history forever.
Oh, yeah.
Because like, his tone and his style, like just how he would create his music, was just so vivid.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, even though like like we had the whole stipulation of people like only like say that like all classic music is like better than new music, and I don't
Mhm.
really believe in that. But in all honesty, Jimi Hendrix was a very big stepping stone in music.
Oh, yeah.
He was absolutely amazing. Jimmy Page, that guy. Oh.
I don't know if I've mentioned on the podcast yet. I am a huge Led Zeppelin fan, and I've just learned right before we started recording that Jeff is as well.
Yeah, phenomenal fan. And it's only because like as a small kid, my dad loved Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
He was born in Cuba, and like it was really hard to get music in Cuba.
Mhm.
So the only real records he had were like Led Zeppelin 1, 2, and 3. I think was the only ones that he had
Okay.
at the time. And so my dad was infatuated with Led Zeppelin. So when I was young, I used to go to work with him at a shop called Mart's First Class Coach, which is actually here in St. Pete. I used to go work with him on the summers, and he was always blasting Led Zeppelin. I had got a huge love for Led Zeppelin as well. Like when the levee breaks,
Oh, yeah.
that harmonica, like just solo, and like the way they guitar would just like dun, 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 dun. It was just so strong.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
And with the drum set and that, they
Yeah.
actually recorded from the top of a stair.
A stairwell,
for the
yeah, to
drums.
get like that thundering.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Get that. Well, I mean, John Bonham was just such a strong player.
Oh yeah.
He had so much attitude behind his drumming. Like it's almost like you felt like anger when he like played, you know what I mean? Because he was
Oh, yeah.
so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And like Jeff Beck even put it like very well. He said, "If I would have had a John Bonham, I would have been Led Zeppelin." So it was just like, I mean, like in all honesty, John Bonham held down Led Zeppelin better than probably anyone ever could.
One of my favorite. Well, my favorite drummer of all time.
Definitely. I mean, like that's I've met a lot of people who John Bonham is their favorite drummer because I mean, like I said, like the guy might have not been like the craziest drummer, but it was just the guy was always in the pocket.
Oh yeah.
He was always perfect. And he
Mhm.
was so powerful. He almost knew that his next move was the right move.
Yeah, and a lot of my styles when I play are directly from John Bonham, like triplets. My triplets, just directly influenced from John Bonham.
A lot of
for
heel
sure.
toe.
Yeah,
A lot of heel toe.
yeah. And I actually just recently I saw Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin evening.
The experience.
Yeah, the experience thing. Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I'm glad I went to see that. But yeah.
But like Jason is a great drummer, but man,
Oh,
Bonzo. Oh my god, dude. That guy put chills in my spine. Like I remember the first time that I listened to Moby Dick.
oh man.
Oh my god, that changed everything when it came up to percussion for me. Like I started realizing that percussion wasn't just something you're supposed to hear in the background.
Yeah, well, you were already a musician at that point when you heard Moby Dick for the first time. I'm assuming you were a musician.
No, I wasn't actually. I
really?
was only at the age of 9.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and that was only because like I had found a volume 2 at a Goodwill. So, little known fact about me. When I was younger, my mom was very negative towards electronics. My mom's a very traditional Hispanic woman. My mom's from Nicaragua. My dad's from Cuba. So, I didn't have any technology because she said I was too young, while my brothers did. So I either only listened to music whether my mom put on the radio to whatever she liked, whatever my dad liked, or to what my brothers were listening. So like that's why I get a lot of influences of like Pitbull and Little John and Daddy Yankee. But at the same time, I was listening to like Led Zeppelin, Bread, the Bee Gees, like Diana Ross, The Temptations. And so I was also listening to like whole Hispanic music like Willie Colon, and like Joe Arroyo.
You showed
Tito
me
Fuentes.
Willie. You showed me Willie Colon the other day.
Yeah, El Gran Barón. That song was
I can't roll my tongue. I'm sorry.
El Gran Barón.
I'm not gonna attempt.
R con R cigarro. So,
Okay.
anyways, tips for the ladies out there. I'm single. Anyways,
Ooh.
Man, oh man.
So
this musician's guy's getting like super hot for some reason.
I don't think we mentioned this, but on last week's episode of the Musician's Couch, we had a local music hour, and that episode actually ran close to about 2 hours.
Very close. Yeah.
Liars.
No, it really did. I'll show you the.
No,
the
I'm
time
saying like
code
you
of
guys
this.
were supposed to be an hour, but you did 2 hours. You guys are liars.
Well,
Hey,
there's a reason because it was divided. We started with current events,
However long we can entertain is.
and then we just kept talking and bullshitting, and eventually we got to our local music hour, which we did about a solid hour out of, I would say.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
At least you guys
And-
don't cheap out.
And one of the songs that we featured was actually, I believe it was half of your band, Shadcore.
I would say 3/4.
Okay. I don't know if that math checks out, but I'll get a calculator later and we'll figure this out. But Shadcore, Jayak, and I believe Jordan was involved on this one too.
Yes. Yes.
On Pillow.
Yes. Jayak was the guest MC, while Shard, of course, was the main MC, and Jordan was actually the producer.
And I don't think I've ever met Joshua Cruz.
No, you haven't actually. Joshua Cruz is actually a really, really good vocalist from here in Tampa. He's actually on some big news and big deals right now with, I think, some record labels and stuff. Like he's making a lot of moves right now. By the way, Joshua, congratulations. You're doing a fantastic job. I'm so proud of you. keep on going. He's a really good friend of mine. He's really cool. I actually met him through a really good friend that had let my band practice at his living room for like 6 months straight.
Wow.
Yeah, Rick
Nice.
Manners.
That's right.
Rest in peace, Rick Manners, man.
Rest in peace, Rick
Dude,
Manners.
I'll tell you about that guy later. He's amazing.
Oh, we'll do.
Yeah. Back to the pillow song though. I heard some synth leads in the background, and you didn't even have to tell me. I knew that had to have been Jordan.
Oh yeah, you can tell that from like a mile away. Jordan's playing style is very peculiar. It's very out of this world. Jordan is probably like one of the most talented people I've seen in a very long time.
Now in TRC, if you guys have your own ideas and you pitch it to the band and they don't feel like it's something that's TRC, do they just go on and do it like their own thing? Like,
Well, the thing about the band is that like there's always gonna be changes.
right.
Like I actually brought in a song exclusive. Exclusive. Only listeners of the podcast will be able to hear this. There is a song called "Love Is." It was a song that I had created with the man sitting to my right, technically speaking, and we had to call it Coachman at the time. It was a progression that I had made out of certain chords on guitar, and I had like made it for my band.
I remember this.
Yeah, and we were sitting here. We had like written certain parts to it. Ironically enough, like there was a main guitar lead part that we had written for it that was so cool, and I never used it in that song.
Which really upset me because, as I remember, that wasn't even a real guitar we had recorded. That was a MIDI guitar.
And it sounded so good.
It sounded very realistic.
Yeah, we were like, okay,
Oh,
we were
really?
so we were
Mhm.
so impressed with the way that we did it.
We
Like
dropped
everything else
some-
was kind of crappy, but that guitar was like on point.
We dropped some amp sims on that. We made it just perfect. And I'm pretty sure we showed it to Shad, and Shad wasn't even crazy about the song, but he still liked that solo.
Like everyone loved the solo. Everyone was just like, wow, that sounds really nice. We're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, we were really proud of it, but it had actually stuck to Shad. Shad was like, you know what? I'm actually liking the song. And believe it or not, they never changed the drum pattern.
Really?
They never did, no.
Wow.
Yeah, it literally was like cause like Dylan had learned it, our drummer Dylan, D-Mix, he had literally learned it the way that we had written it. Which was that you remember that?
I remember. I mean, I don't remember it being that technical, so I figured like, he would have added his own flair. or
No, he
anything.
didn't. No, he's very, very he's very punctual when it comes to that stuff. Like he will copy something perfectly every time, note for note. And so like he had learned that part. And so when we went to go play next time, he literally looked at Jay and said, "Well, it's starting to grow on me." Cause it was. He was really starting to like the way that like it sounded with the song. So the only things that really changed were like we had changed the bass line. Cause I don't know, Isaac just doesn't like my bass lines. And you know how Isaac was his progressive rock and
I remember the way that we had written it. It was like bum, 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 and it sounded very like 80s Beverly Hills Cop or something.
it really was.
Nice.
It actually was, and it was totally unintentional.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It was cool.
But we still kept that part though, but now we only do it as a bridge.
So, do you still play the song with the band?
Yes, we actually do. We don't really play it that often. Ironically enough, I had wrote a song that a lady that we do every year. No, that sounded so bad.
Oh, wait. What? Back up.
Wait a second.
Back up. A lady that we do an event for every year
That's better.
called the Purple Dress, where it's against domestic violence, against like teenagers and all that, like pretty much anyone of any age group, but I think mostly teenagers. And then we have these little purple bows. It's actually I have one on my guitar from about a year ago now. At this point, we go play at SPC every time we do it. And so there's this lady from the ABC Action News who had heard the song when we played it there, and she absolutely loved it. And I never thought that I would write a song that someone would love. Like,
Neither did I, but go on.
And so she had featured us playing that song on the news.
That's
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, so like, and ironic. So basically, our song was on the news.
That is so
If
cool.
if you think about it,
Oh,
Andrew,
wow.
our
That
song
is-
was on the news.
That is really cool.
Right? And so, but like, it was so like the only thing that really stayed intact from that song was actually Jordan's keyboard parts that I had wrote that I had told you like sounds too much like JJA.
Yep, I remember that.
But since yeah, and so
Can we find a recording of this later?
yeah,
there-
I think you sent it to me because you had it on your computer.
I mean the one that was performed on TV.
It might be on ABC, on ABC Action News. I'm not sure.
We're gonna hunt for this afterwards. So about Passport,
Hello.
you saw this coming.
Okay. Let's go. Let's do it.
This is the reason why we need video, just so we could look at Wizzy's face right now.
You don't want to look at my face right now.
So leading up to the midnight release of Passport,
I
which
have a lot of
happened about
depression.
yeah.
We just went to Steak and Shake, and I had heard this story for the first time, and I'm really happy that you brought it up because I'm glad that I get to hear it again. I'm honored.
Everybody but me is. They didn't get to live the terror.
So we were hanging out. We were hanging out together around the midnight release. I think we were drinking beers, having a good time, celebrating that you were about
Like
to.
every Friday.
Yeah, pretty much. But this particular Friday was different because we were counting down the release of Passport.
My first release with TRC ever.
Yeah, that's right. It went off to a
nice.
great start. So so midnight comes around and we start checking Spotify, we start checking YouTube, we check Facebook, and we can't find Passport anywhere.
Why is that, Jeff?
Yeah, why?
Oh no, you think you gotta ask some band in like Europe. Well,
Was it a Europe band? Really?
it's a European band called The Revolution Continues.
Huh, TRC.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they're not the real TRC.
Or the real Clash. Anyway.
Well, I mean, the real TRC, wouldn't that be TRTRC?
You think people would fuck that up?
Maybe, but I don't think it's taken.
The real TRC.
Eventually
Because we have to deviate.
eventually you add enough subtitles and I think, you guys will make it.
Be like, yo, have you watched The Real TRC? You know, the people from Pasco County? Like, just literally call it that completely.
That would be perfect. The real TRC, the people from Pasco County. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing.
I think we just figured it out, guys. All right, I'll see you later. I'm going to go get my fucking Lamborghini.
So,
all right. Yeah. So it was totally under another band's name. The Revolution Continues. And they're a metal band.
How does that even happen?
Like a
Let me-
black metal band. Like not no average band. Like this is like a European band that drinks goat blood. Like ooh, I'm leaving. Good thing I just renewed my passport. No.
I remember it like it was last month.
Oh.
Because I found this other band called TRC on Spotify and I scroll down and I see Passport and I'm like, hey,
Well, this is not right.
hey, Wizzy, is this you guys? And he's like, no, that's a different band called TRC. Like, that's cool. They have your song, by the way.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Do you submit it to Spotify?
No,
And-
we actually have a So there's a lot of common things that happen when you go through certain distribution companies, which I understand. Like it's not their fault. It was just a technology error. You know, we had gone through a symphonic distribution, and they had distributed our music through Spotify, through all the major like music streaming services, and you know like we've like gotten other plans from them as well. Like they're very good company, but it's a common mistake to happen just with technology in general, where it uploads it to the wrong band if it's too similar to our name.
Shout out to
Interesting.
Symphonic Distribution.
Yeah, no, Symphonic actually does a really great job, but this was a technicality.
Yeah, I know that when I'm as soon as I finish up on my music, I'm probably gonna use their service as
Yeah,
well.
I hope there's not no other Swedish band named Vamp.
Oh, I already know there is, but you know we're gonna have a field day with that.
You're like, hey Andrew, guess what?
See-
you do the exact same thing as Andrew. Be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Oh no!
Hey, is this you? And he'd be like, no, that's some other vamp. And you'd be like, oh, well, they've got your song.
Oh, is this you? It's just gonna be like 5 Count Draculas with guitars and bass guitars and
Oh my
drum
God.
sets. Like imagine a Count Dracula rock band.
I think
Called Vamp.
I think there is a Vamp Norwegian folk band.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course, you'd be folk.
Yeah, that'd be really freaking weird. And I mean, okay, so the thing is, you know, it's good for you and good for me too, is that band names aren't copyrighted. They're trademarked. So
Trademark, yes.
what that means is that you can use the name because you're the only name TRC in Florida. There could be
Yes.
another TRC in maybe Seattle, Washington, but that's on the other side of the country, so fuck them.
Right, but it's still like improbable since I think we're the only one in America called TRC actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Well,
think we are the only one in America, but not the only one in the world.
so the thing about that is, like, let's say you went to Europe and you played some TRC shows. Just for the purpose of that European tour, you would actually have to change your name,
Yeah, we'd be called the real TRC.
or just the real Clash. But I mean,
You mean the real Clash?
The real Clash.
the real Clash.
Like the real. So like instead of like REAL, it's gonna be REEL.
Like a real to real?
Like a real. The real Clash.
real to real Clash. Got it.
If you can make real Clash and the real Clash and Real Big Fish tour happen,
Oh, God.
all the reels.
I think you just fucked us up, man.
You ready to go on a reels trip, Wizzy?
Oh, man.
Okay, I'll excuse myself.
Yeah, definitely. After that fucking comment.
Oh shit!
Sorry, that's behind the scenes. You had to pay for that kind of access.
You know, everything that you're saying is being picked up in my mic.
Oh shit. That's right, you got the Neumann.
I do have the Neumann.
Oh, that's not fair.
It really isn't.
Yeah,
but
he's got the nice mic that picks up like even a needle drop in like the middle of a freaking warehouse.
exactly. But fuck you guys. I'm hosting. So
Whoa. I mean, I'm a co-host.
you are the co-host. But I
Technically,
mean,
you don't technically have a better mic than you, right?
Yeah.
all I'm saying is that like I'm hosting in my home, as in like, you know,
All right,
you
all
guys
right.
are.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Alright,
No,
alright,
Lane,
alright.
you are my co-host.
I did BYOM. I did bring my own mic.
That is true. We haven't even taken a look at
BYOM.
your mic. Like I was like, oh, cool, and I just gave you the $10 one.
Yeah, that's fine. It still picks up my voice just fine. I mean, I still don't have a pop screen.
You know something? Actually, listening through the headphones, I think Wizzy needs it more than you.
Well, that's because I accent my P's and B's.
Would you rather him do that or me move the mic?
Thank you, everyone. Good night. So, this next song's got a pretty cool story behind it.
I don't
too.
have etiquette. I don't have mic etiquette, okay? I get it.
It's okay. None of us do.
Oh man.
This next song's got a funny story too, doesn't it?
Which one?
The Kraken.
Is that what you're gonna do after every song?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna become an alcoholic.
I'll get you some antidepressants.
Sugar, spice, and antidepressants. And everything nice.
Mixed with Chemical X.
My God, I love Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls, that was one of the best shows.
All right, let's get back on track.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
right.
I kind of want to get into this now.
Okay, no, definitely. Let's go. Come on.
The episode of
Mojo Jojo.
Oh my God, you do that perfect. The episode of Powerpuff Girls, which is all Beatles related.
Yes, the one where they're like robbing the banks and everything, and they're going through the actual like building, and then they all.
Oh
lean
yeah,
over.
they do the lean
They
over.
do all the like they even do the Rubber Soul like,
Yeah.
cover as well. They do all the
I
different
didn't-
covers.
How do I not know about
You've
this?
never seen that?
Yeah,
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
They totally like they even play like songs that sound like the Beatles. Like
Yeah.
it was a total thing that they were supposed to be like this pop star robbing gang. That they're supposed to be like a famous gang that robs banks.
Like him and Mojo Jojo and the other enemies I can't think of right now.
Yeah, the green guys.
Yeah, they all formed this band because they finally beat up the Powerpuff Girls, and they all called themselves the Beat-Alls.
The Beat-Alls, yeah.
The Beatles.
Yeah, so they were called the Beat-Alls. And before I just explain this next part, but you know Yoko Ono. Have you ever heard her sing?
She's
Terribly.
absolutely terrible.
If you listen, if you ever watch this episode of Powerpuff Girls, Mojo Jojo runs into what's it? Yomo Nono or something like that. I don't know, but
I forget, yeah.
something like that. But then she just starts screaming like she's like a screeching monkey, and like it's so funny because it's just, to me, it's making fun of her actual singing in real life.
Which is
And-
terrible.
Oh God.
Which is absolutely. I'm sorry, John.
I've even
Lennon,
seen
but
a
it's
recent.
just
I've seen a
terrible.
recent video, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, oh man, man, oh man.
And like, the only reason she really got famous was because of John Lennon.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
And it's just like, I almost feel like she tried to take his spotlight. Like I kind of feel Yoko, back off. No offense.
Come on, just
Why? Why?
You
Like,
know what's-
why? Everyone rags on you. Like, why are you still around?
You know what's crazy? Since we brought up John Lennon, because we were talking about this. We were talking about this on last week's episode.
oh yeah, Dime Dag,
Blah, blah, blah,
Exactly.
blah, blah.
yeah,
That
one.
guy.
Yeah.
No, Dimebag Darrell died on the 24-year anniversary of John Lennon's death.
Which would be 38 years now.
Yeah. But it's like same exact day, 24 years apart.
Yeah.
They were both killed.
Well, it's kind of like the whole Kurt Cobain, Janis Joplin, and Jimi Hendrix thing where they're all left-handed.
The 27 Club.
20
The 27 Club. Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what it was called. They were 27, they were left-handed, and they had a white big lighter in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how
Really, I did not know that.
yeah.
Yes.
And like it's statistically proven. Like it really, they all died with the big lighter in their right hand pocket.
Really.
Yeah, like, and they're all 27. They were when they died. They all were left-handed. It's just the similarities were very, very coincidental.
That's insane. I still
Like
don't
super
think,
coincidental.
I still don't think Kurt Cobain killed himself.
Really?
I really don't. I really think it was his significant other.
Oh, Courtney.
There's a song I could show you about that too.
Oh, I mean, like even if she didn't really pull the trigger,
Oh, I don't.
Courtney
think she-
played a huge role.
Oh yeah, I don't think she did, because okay, there's this documentary called Soaked in Bleach. It's on Netflix, I believe. Still, I don't remember.
Oh man, they're still milking it.
And yeah, they are.
I'm sorry, but it's been too long. Just let the man rest in peace.
Well, I mean, he did like really change a lot. I mean, I can get why people are so stuck up on him.
yeah, I agree with you. It's just they haven't let that thing about his death go, and it's years and years and years now, documentary after documentary
Oh,
after. It's just it's overkill, man. At
You
this
know,
point.
like even when I was younger, I really wasn't even into Kurt Cobain. I had a really good friend of my brother's. His name was David, right? And he actually was like one of the few friends that I had that played guitar, but he lives all the way in Miami. But he's been like my brother's friend since they were like in elementary school, and he's like 30 now. So it's just like I was playing guitar with this kid when I was 15, and like he had brought up to me, he's like, he was just playing music on his MP3 player. I'm like, who's that? He's like, you don't know who this is? I was like, no. He's like, this is Nirvana. I was like, who the fuck is Nirvana?
Nice.
And so then I listened to it, and like it was really cool and everything, but I really wasn't into him that much until I got older, and like I was like angsty.
Everyone has that phase.
I think that's everyone that's ever listened to Nirvana.
But now I
was
got like
that
a
fan.
really deep appreciation for him. You know what I mean? Like I start seeing the connections of all different types of music now. Like how I realized that punk and hip hop are like hand in hand.
Oh yeah.
And like that took me a little while to learn, but then I realized, what the fuck are the Beastie Boys anyways?
We just mentioned the
we
Beastie Boys.
we
didn't
did, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about the 27 Club on the last episode as well, too. I briefly mentioned it to you, Lane, but
Yeah.
A lot of callbacks. I didn't even know
Yeah.
any about these. So
Yeah, there's a lot.
well, it
of
helps
those.
when you listen to the podcast. That's a running joke.
hey
It's okay.
guys. Hey guys, my name is Jeff and I don't listen to this. I won't even listen to the one that I am in.
You shouldn't. It's lame. Who listens to their own podcast? Jeez.
Yeah. I
Me,
just want to hear myself speak.
I
all the
listen to all
time.
my podcasts. It's
Well,
bad.
I might do a little bit too.
No, my first learning of Kurt Cobain was actually through my classical violin teacher. I was like maybe 12 or 13 years old.
He was a bad influence.
He was an interesting person because I still have this man on Facebook to this day. And I remember that I really wanted to go see Weezer when they came to town in Houston, Texas. That's where I was living, and I did not get to go. So the next day I go to my violin lesson, and my violin teacher is wearing a Weezer shirt. I'm like, where'd you get that? He's like, at the show. What, you weren't there?
Nice.
Yeah. He was that kind of
Nice.
a person. So then he would
Nice. I
he
like
would
that
mention
guy.
9 Inch Nails in a Perfect Circle to me. He was all about that.
APC is the shit.
Mm-hmm. And one day, getting my violin out, I'm tuning it, getting it ready, and he said, today is Kurt Cobain's birthday. And I said, who's that? He said, a famous musical composer. And he just left it at
Nice.
that. And like,
I mean, he was right.
yeah, well, I have no idea who he was. So, I mean, to me, like, we're in the middle of a violin lesson learning classical music. My mind is stuck on classical. And, like, it didn't occur to me until years later that Nirvana is what he was talking about.
Nice.
And, yeah, so I really enjoy Nirvana a lot,
Well, people,
especially growing up.
it's ironic like that you mentioned that because I actually have a documentary about Kurt Cobain that I have downloaded onto my phone. Like it's one of my favorite fucking movies. What is it called? Still have it on my phone. I forget what it was called.
Is it Montage of Heck?
That's Montage of Heck. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was like great animations. There was a lot behind it. It talked about like the story that like why he like was so rejected in high school because they called him a retard fucker. There was a lot about Kurt Cobain. You know what I mean? Like that. Honestly, like those, like every documentary, like they point a different fact out about Kurt Cobain that people didn't really know. But they used a lot of his music and they had changed it like over. They pretty much made covers of it with pianos only and like vocals of small children, and they made it sound so orchestral and beautiful. Like, have you heard All Apologies with just like a piano and just a choir?
I don't think I've heard that version, no.
It's fucking fantastic. Like you start realizing that a lot of the stuff that he wrote, like if you transcribe it to like a more classical sense of like instrumentation, it's beautiful. Like if you do that with a lot of the music nowadays, just in general, like Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers, even a lot of the hip hop songs, if you just transfer them over correctly through a cover, like with a piano and like I said, like very classical oriented instrumentation, it sounds beautiful.
Not to mention Kurt Cobain did a lot of covers in his lifetime as well.
Yeah, he did that one with that Lake of Fire.
There's that one. And there's the David Bowie cover, The Man Who Sold the
The
World.
Man Who Sold the World.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's one of the I think that was one of the most famous covers ever.
And he
Ever
did that during his
arranged.
MTV Unplugged
Yeah.
That's correct.
version,
Yeah.
right? All right.
He even did another one, like, which is one of my favorite, Kurt Cobain, like, in general songs, which was My Girl.
Oh, really?
My girl, don't lie to me. That song right there.
Nice.
That song, like for some reason, like, I know it was an old Lead Belly song, but it was really, really strong the way he rewrote it, and like how that second part of the song where he just comes in and he's screaming.
Oh,
It's just like,
man.
oh man, like, I don't know why that song was so good.
And it's like, speaking of Nirvana, just like Dave Grohl,
Oh man,
Ooh,
oh man.
Dave Grohl is a national treasure.
like, not only can he play anything he touches. Oh my god.
Like, amazingly. See, even his voice even cracked.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm getting a little teared up.
Starting to get goosebumps.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the video on YouTube of him playing this song called Play, I think is what it's called. It's just recent, and he's playing every single instrument, and it's just one video. It shows like him on every instrument in the studio. He's on a set, he's on marimbas, he's on guitar, he's doing vocals. It's just so amazing. He's just amazing at what he does. And every time he goes on stage, I swear he picks a kid out of the crowd, and then that kid can play like any Foo Fighters song, and then he hands them the guitar, and then
I was just watching that before you guys came from Win Dixie.
really,
Yeah. Some kid with like the kiss face or some shit.
Yep.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's running around the stage and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. He was insane.
Have
I
you
was
guys
like-
ever seen him host a talk show before?
Who, Dave Grohl?
Dave
Oh,
Grohl.
No.
did
I
he
would
cover
love
for
that,
Jimmy
though.
Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel Live. So this was the week of Halloween, and Jimmy Kimmel took off on vacation, and he got different people to fill in for his role of talk show host for the whole week. So on one episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live, it was Dave Grohl, and since it was all Halloween themed, he obviously he came dressed in costume. He came dressed as David Letterman
That's right.
post retirement. So
Post retirement.
here's why I say that. So it was a David Letterman with a beer gut who really let himself go. He has a big white beard. And just in case people didn't know who he was supposed to be, he wore a leather jacket just to cement that. And
Of course.
like it took me a while to realize that was Dave Grohl. And instead of here's the coolest part, instead of the Jimmy Kimmel Live band, it was the Foo Fighters playing
Of
the
course.
entire night. And guess who the musical guest was? Alice Cooper.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So Alice
That's
Cooper,
awesome.
they first interviewed him, and then he did a musical performance with the Foo Fighters at the end of the night.
If I'm correct, I think Dave Grohl is a big Alice Cooper fan, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, they talked about that in detail. It was crazy. So 30 minutes later, hey, you guys want to listen to the Kraken?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready to disappoint
I was trying to
myself.
look up a picture of Dave Grohl as David Letterman.
I'll show you later. It's pretty amazing. It's probably on
Great.
YouTube.
We need to know about this. I'm gonna untuck my shirt. It's like 10 o'clock, and it's totally time to unwind.
This is the other reason why we need video.
Yes.
God.
Without further ado, this is TRC, the Kraken.
They still call me Apollo the Insatiable, lyrical minotaur. The unbreakable hawk renders the contender incapable of any sort of recourse. The state of music sicker than the behind the scenes details of Tyson and Robin's divorce. Holding the mic is like Poseidon with the trident. Instigator of tsunamis, storms put out your pilot. 3.14 is the orchestrator of war. Your windshield decal says there's a baby on board. So which is it? Are you an MC or an infant? TRC's penance unregistered as a menace. Society's undecided. Are we started or we finished? Hearsay's inferior. You're in the right place for that business. Societal menace tremendous. The image is sickening and intended, not for the timid. Jesus Christ is your witness. I'm a super homo sapien with a gift for the twisted. There's a train, you mad cause we made it and you missed it. It's the
of your tech to my chest, but no weapon you possess can penetrate my flesh, cause the Lord is my shield, and your lack of skills is causing my boredom to build. The sword that I wield has got a funny shaped blade. Yeah, go ahead and laugh. It's all fun and games till somebody gets stabbed with a potent paragraph as the beast is released from 20,000 leagues beneath the sea. So I loosen up my jaw, wait for Zeus to give the order. Then swoosh from out the water with limbs the size of Florida. Did somebody order some chaotic disorder? Cause hey, we got it for ya. We don't play, we're not a toya. A game, this is innovative instrumentation. The kind that can generate some Benjamin Franklin. You know who it is when you hear them cymbals crash. The real clash, as if you really had to ask.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. I honestly, that juicy bridge just gets me every time.
Every fucking time.
It gets you in a different way than it gets us,
Every fucking time.
but it gets all of us.
It's okay. At least I don't wear fake 350 Boost Yeezys.
Excuse you, these are from Walmart. And they're just comfy. That's the only reason I wear them.
So that was just the Kraken.
And I heard there's a story behind this as well.
You said crack.
God.
Release the
Yeah.
release the crack and
Yeah. Crack.
yeah, crack. Oh my god.
This is
So-
the worst.
So
Too
about
accurate.
My shirt's forming into an ACDC t-shirt.
Oh my god. The highway to hell. We're going straight towards it, man. 55 or lower.
So what else can you say about this song that will piss off your band?
It's a lot. Okay, so first off, that bridge where you hear all that beautiful jazz stuff.
God, yeah, I love it.
Me
It's
too.
great.
Too bad I heard you can't play it.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. So
Fucking
there's
savage over here, Lane.
Okay, I'm just speaking from the story.
so
From what I've heard.
From yeah, but for anyone that's not listening, they don't know we've talked about this beforehand.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what
Should
makes that
explain
just way more hilarious. It's like it's a great bridge. Too bad I heard you can't play it.
ironically enough that I can solo and I can do certain things to where a lot of people have said, "Man, I've never seen anyone do that." But I can't play 3 notes.
I think that just means you've evolved past the 3-chord songs.
Yeah, I just like 3 notes is just not enough for me. I need like 11 to stay.
It's like if Andrew couldn't hold notes.
Oh, how does he know that?
Hold your notes, Lane.
Hold your notes.
Hold
As
your
long as I
notes.
can hit my notes.
A atmosphere.
Yeah, of course. But there's also a funny thing about Andrew and my band holding notes. So
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, that doesn't even piss me off anymore. I look back at that and laugh.
can you do this?
No, that still pisses me off. That still pisses me off.
That's too much. That's too much. We have too many inside jokes for you guys. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to start like telling these people about every inside joke. It's gonna be a list. We're gonna have to make like 3 episodes about just inside jokes.
We can make that work.
We can probably actually make that work. That's the worst part about us is that we can make that work. Like if you guys have a conversational topic, we're gonna talk about whatever the fuck we want, and we'll do it for like hours, like we're doing right now.
That's exactly right. Like normally, before we start recording, me and Lane will bust out a little note card and we'll write down some bullet points just in case that we, get into some dead air, and we can, just more concisely focus on what our topics are going to be. And yeah, like right before we started recording, Wizzy over here was like, "Well, fuck you, I'm your topic."
It's actually pretty accurate.
He's our note card tonight. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm everybody's note card. I'm also their gym sock.
Okay. So about the story.
Hello there.
So the Kraken.
Say goodbye to getting monetized by YouTube, guys.
You guys want a Patreon account? What?
I think that's the final nail in the coffin right there.
All right, guys. This is nice knowing you. I'll see you later.
Our very
All right,
first
Andrew.
guest.
I got you back tomorrow for those $4.
That sounds about right.
Don't worry, man. I got you back. I'll never see that motherfucker again. It's like every time you you bum a cigarette off for someone. Yo, man, can I bum a cigarette off of you? Yeah, thank you so much. Like you feel bad, so you don't want to leave like right away. You're like, I gotta talk to him for like at least a little bit. You're just like, yeah. So how you doing, man? I'm doing good. Yeah, man. Like my grandma's doing great. Oh, she is? Yeah. like you just have to find something to talk about.
We experienced this. We did at the Ritz.
Didn't I tell you about that? Like right when it happened.
It was really awkward.
Andrew's not a smoker, and I am. I am a smoker, and I get it. Blah blah blah. I'm 21. I always smoke. People always ask me, it's like, why do people that are so smart and have smartphones not like smoke still? Like they have enough technology and information to find out why it's bad to smoke. I don't know, man. It's primal.
It's
Like,
primal.
I'm pretty sure cavemans had like Camel cigarette packs.
The smooth draw of a Marlboro cigarette.
Yeah. So easy to draw, even a caveman can do it. Oh, no, that's tasty.
Are you a spokesperson for Camel?
No, but I should be. And if I'm a spokesperson, it's gonna be for Newports.
Yeah. Yeah. So about that, like, can you pose as a spokesperson and call yourself Newport Richie?
Oh.
Call myself Newport Wizzy.
Jeez. This is getting
This is too far.
So,
We might just get lung cancer from just stating this shit too many times.
so are there any other like hilarious stories that you want to share with us? I've got one in mind. I just want to know if you'll come to the
Oh, I
same.
think I know which one you're talking
I just
about.
want to come to the same conclusion as
Is-
you here.
Is it the one about the diapers?
Yeah, yeah, it
Oh,
is.
okay.
Diaper lady.
All right.
Is that something
Okay.
you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I don't mind. It's whatever. Everyone
sure?
already fucking knows it anyways. What does it fucking
Okay.
matter?
I don't
know,
think
because-
I know it.
Oh shit! There we go. A new person.
Something,
All right.
something that Andrew hasn't told me yet.
All right. Yeah.
This
Yes,
is
because only I can tell it.
Okay.
it's true. Like
I met Andrew. I saw Andrew literally an hour right after it happened.
yeah, he came like right over here, and I think that's like the day he gave up vaping and went back to smoking.
Yeah, I think it was actually. I'm pretty sure in my mind when I was driving back home in my '98 Dodge pickup, I was like, "This is too much shit. Like I might as well just end it sooner."
Yeah, that was a night, and you're right. I cannot tell this story because I just have to paraphrase it, and it's just never the same
Like,
effect.
Look, first things first, no one could ever fucking make up a story like this. I'm sorry. This is 100% true. I wish it was a lie. Like, everything inside of me says, just forget it. And just remember it as something else except what it really is. But it's the truth. I mean, like, it's funny. It's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. So I call it the diaper lady story.
Oh my god.
And for you people who don't know what a diaper lady is, you're about to find out. So I had met this chick at a gig that I was playing at. And we had exchanged, like to say the least, I had wanted to get a beer, one of my favorite beers. It was called the Belgian Flat Tire. I have to look at him. The Belgian Flat Tire.
I've heard of that beer.
It's a very good beer. It's my favorite beer. Hashtag Rick Manners. It's a tongue twister. He's the one that showed me that beer. And so when I went to go get it, and when the bartender was bringing it over to me, and I handed him my card, he says, "Oh no, it's already paid for." I'm like, paid for my beer? And he had like nudged his head to like the left, or to my right, and like there's this chick with blonde hair.
Are you sure this isn't like a scene from a movie?
That's the weirdest part, bro.
That's actually the cool thing, though. Like, you rarely ever hear women buying guys drinks at
This-
a bar like that.
Yeah, that should have been the first flag.
The first red flag.
That should have been the first.
right there.
I'm like, no, that's too much. Yeah, no. So, and like she was attractive, which was like the craziest part. So like instead of like walking over there like a normal person, I ran towards that girl like Usain Bolt, like in a 100-meter dash. I was like, I look like an indie racer. I look like I was supposed to have T-Mobile signs all over me. Like I was sponsored by like Netgear or some shit.
Oh my god.
So I swear to God, man, I could have won the World Cup. Anyways, I go ahead and I start talking to her, and I had to take a good friend of mine back home that I was with. So I ended up getting her number and everything, whatever. So a couple weeks had passed, and she hits me back up like on a Sunday at 6 p.m.
So you met that night. She gave you her number,
and I gave her my number.
and
Yes,
she didn't contact you until 2 weeks after this.
I would say at least around there. Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. Red flag number 2.
So, yeah, I ain't even touching that. That's just
Well, I mean,
Like you're on a schedule. Like she's like, I'll meet you on Sunday, like 2 weeks from now. Like you got to make.
she
an
might
appointment.
have said that, but I was pretty shit faced.
Okay.
guys. Leave your opinion down in the comments for this one.
Yeah.
Don't.
If a lady tells you that she'll get back to you in 2
Don't.
weeks,
Don't. Just run.
I'm sorry. It's gonna take me a week.
If
to
her
make-
name is run as fast as you fucking possibly can.
should I censor that?
Yeah, I was about to say, should we censor that?
No. This is like for the public to know.
Shout out to
She told me not to tell anyone, but everyone's gonna fucking know. Everyone around me already knows. So let's just broaden the span.
it's coming. 2018 is coming to a close. It's a
Yeah.
new year, new you.
Yeah.
We'll just say it's a made up name. It is a made up name.
It might be. I have no idea. What if she was just fucking with me?
She totally
What
gave you a
what
fake
if
name.
Her name is not.
So, so gets back to you after 2 weeks.
And verbatim, she goes, "Yo, what up?"
Like through a text? Like,
Yeah, bro.
like
Wow.
an SMS
No.
message?
No fucks given, bro. She was just like, "Bro, I have needs." You know? So
I
I'm
do
like,
not like where this story
so
is
like,
going.
I read it. I was like, "Yo." She's like, "What are you doing?" And I lied and I was like, "Nothing." She's like, "You want to go to a bar?" Look, meanwhile, I'm a 19-year-old dude and she knows this. And she's like a 22-year-old, just fresh out of college USF girl, right? And
Oh my god.
I'm like, where do I go that I know that I'm not going to get ID'd? Oh, wait, I have a beard anywhere. And so I meet her at this place called Capone's, which is on County Line Road in Spring Hill.
I know the place.
Yeah. That place has a lot of bad memories for me. I still go there. That place is cool. And
Weird flex, but okay.
yeah, weird flex. And so red flag number 3. We only spent 30 minutes there before we went to her house.
Huh.
I drank at least a good 4 Heinekens. Yeah, I downed those things. I kind of already knew where everything was going, but I didn't really know. But I was like, well, I don't really want to find out sober. So I was like, might as well just go down the pile. Anyway, so she was like, yo, it's getting boring over here. And I was like, yeah, it is. Definitely is. So we went back to her place. Little background story. She has her own place. She has her own car. She's very self-reliant. She was a
Okay.
yeah. She had one ear that was all fucked up, which I thought it was kind of cute, actually. I'm weird like that. I find defects affectionate. So if you got a fucked up nose, hey girl. So I get over there and she has my favorite beer, Heineken, which is that's my favorite beer you can find everywhere.
I thought your favorite was Fat Tire.
It is, but
But that was 2 weeks ago.
yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Shit.
Carry on.
No, she had Heineken. She had Heineken, and I was like, "Fuck." She was like, "You want to play a drinking game?" I'm like, "Of course."
Red flag number 3.
That's 5, dude.
Yeah.
I guess
where,
I've lost count.
where did you learn how to count?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Not
count
elementary school.
I couldn't count in the car today earlier. Apparently, I couldn't count roads.
One, two,
3. No. No. Next one. 1, 2. No. Oh, you mean 3 streets? Yeah, 3.
Okay.
So
There's enough of that.
back on track. So I drank a shit ton of beers, bro, and like I had to urinate. So I look at
Wizzy had to take a Wizzy.
Wizzy had to take a whiz, definitely. And so I had looked at this girl and I was like, "Yo, I need to pee."
Now I'm starting to count your red flags.
Yeah, you see, that's really why I can't judge her, man. Like I don't really fucking understand.
Let's just open up a tally score.
But how this story is going, I feel like
We're both just fucking like she's trying her hardest and I'm not. We're total opposites, and that attracted us for some reason. Like she was a hippie, bro. Like, well, okay, look, I do a lot of hippie things, but I'm not a hippie.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, she likes. Okay, so like she was always like putting like she had the Clash.
Okay.
On record, and she had put it on like.
So not the real Clash.
No, of course not. She had no fucking idea who that was.
Just some Chinese knockoff.
Yeah, it's just some Chinese knockoff. Made in China Clash.
So, by the way, when we do post this episode, should I just title it "Shout Out to"?
Oh god.
Oh, we should totally do that. What if she finds out? Oh, I still know where she lives.
You know how every once in a while you just end up Googling your own name just to see what comes up, and
it's gonna be a lot. You're giving a lot of information. You just gave a lot of information for anyone out there on YouTube who might listen to this, and they're gonna search. And first thing pop up probably be that lady.
If anybody
Facebook,
has this kind
Twitter.
of kink, go right ahead. She's looking for more people.
and this is how we get banned.
All right. So
Go on.
hello. Anyway, so like I go to the bathroom, bro, and like I'm closing the door, and like I feel like tug at the door, like there's like someone stopping the door from closing,
Oh God.
and I'm like, okay. Think quick, Jeff. Your next decision might be the make or the break of the evening. So I opened the door, and she was looking at me, and she had changes her contacts to like she put her glasses on, and like honestly, I have like a huge glasses thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're nice.
Should I take mine off?
No, please keep them on. I like them. Anyways, like especially like on women, like no offense, like I don't want to seem like a weirdo. That's just one of my likes. And so I'm like, man, she's like really pretty girl, like in all honesty. And she just like looks at me and she's like, can I ask you a serious question? Yes, my diva. She was like, can I watch you pee? I'm like, whoa. It's a little too early. I've only known you for 4 hours to get into water sports.
That one counts as 2 red flags.
Yeah, that's 2 red flags. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that. I sit down when I pee, so it's just not going to work out. And she like looks at me like really weirdly. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, why would I stand up and pee when I can sit down? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Well,
Are you having fun? Are you having fun yet, Lane?
I just want to know if that's true or not.
it's actually a true
Oh
thing.
my God.
I do sit down when I pee
Okay.
because it's a lot harder to
No, that's
watch.
dominant. You're a dominant.
Like in all honesty, it's a lot harder to try to look at my phone and stand up and pee at the same time when
No,
it's
that's
not
a
a urinal.
dominance thing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like I'm gonna sit my ass down in your fucking toilet. And so like, and she just like laughs it off and says, "Okay." I close the door. I'm like, whew, that was weird. The first thing of the night, right?
Oh, God.
Well, the first red flag, apparently, to me. That's what happens when you drink a couple beers. You don't see the other ones before. And so I had had just gone to the bathroom and I heard her like giggling and shit. You know, like those things that girls do to like kind of like show you that they're interested in. And
That last one sounded like a
Was she
cry
the-
for help.
and
Was she
so-
the Hansel and Gretel witch? Like,
Holy shit!
oh, wait a second.
Wait a second.
Was she blind and tried to stuff me in an oven?
Oh, she's trying to stuff something in the oven. That's for sure, man.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. And so, you know, I get out and everything, and I don't want to get into the specifics, but I finger blasted the fuck out of that chick for like a good 20 minutes. And so,
Jesus Christ.
Love how you say you don't want to get into the specifics, but
yeah, like I lifted her feet up. So, anyway, so what we had told each other, we're like, all right, we're just going to chill. We're going to watch a movie. The farthest we got was to turn on the laptop. And so, you know, things started getting heated. It's whatever. You know, like
20 seconds into Netflix and chill.
yeah, seriously. Like literally, we didn't even open Netflix. It was like get laptop and then not chill. Like do the total opposite of chill. And this is where everything starts to go downhill. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready, Lane?
So
I think Lane's done.
I'm strapped in.
yeah, definitely. That's what I was too.
Strapped in or strapped on?
Good question.
He doesn't even know.
It's a lot of
scares me the most.
it's a lot of Heineken, man.
It's a lot of Heineken.
So I you know, we started to get heated and she like gave me like this like really sexy look. I was like, wow, you know, so
Whoa.
you know, wow. And so she looks at me, she was like, let me ask you a question. Are you into Daddy and Me? That's exactly what it means, my friends.
Guys, leave your opinions down in the comments if you're into Daddy and Me.
So I go, what the fuck is that? She was like, I'll show you. And I was like, okay. So I get my happy ass on the edge of the bed with my dang ring just like sitting there. I'm like, all right, we're getting ready. Let's do this shit. What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? This bitch puts on a diaper.
Oh my god.
She puts on a diaper, bro, and she pretends to act like a baby
No.
for sexual pleasure.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. Worst part about it, waking up with diaper rash on my dick the next day.
Oh my.
And the other worst part about
That
it is
includes.
that includes our podcast in general. This was
This
a
is
great
the end.
This was a great 3 episodes.
This is a great 3 episodes.
This was a great 3 episodes.
Like the worst part about that night too was that like you playing a song. Don't play a song. Don't stop. Is that it? He's playing box cutter. Because I'm thinking I'm outside of the box when it comes up to sexual pleasure.
I can't wait until your guys' next big single releases, Diaper Lady.
Oh, there's a big thing about my band and Diaper Lady. Like we made references on stage to Diaper Lady.
I remember when we rehearsed at Circle, there was a show poster, a flyer hanging up called the Diaper Bash.
Yes.
And I was really upset you guys didn't jump on that show.
Well, it was way before it was like in 2014. It was just a poster that was up there.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But that would have been a great segue.
I really would have.
Like, this is a lot of music. Like, why?
Oh, and you best believe I'm going to find an applause track right after your story is over.
Okay.
I'm adding that in post. That's happening.
Oh my god, dude. That was a crazy story. Like, that scared the shit out of me to live. Like, that was honestly like really traumatic. Like, you know, like waking up the next day and she told me she didn't like morning. Like, I had called my job and everything. Like, cause like I was not going into work. It was a Sunday. Well, it was
The
a
first
Monday
thing he
morning.
did was call me and say, I've had a hell of a night, I'm coming over. And he really freaked me out too. Because I'm pretty sure the last time that you said, this is really important, I have to come over and tell you what happens, I'm pretty sure Rick Manners died.
Yeah, it was very, very.
And then you follow up with Diaper Lady coming to my house, and then you told everybody about this. You told all of our friends. You told my family. You told You told my 60-year-old mom.
Banjo's important.
And you didn't leave out any juicy details.
At all. Like I literally told her more than I told anyone else.
Good
I told
Lord.
her, I was like, I went to go insert my penis.
It was pretty vulgar.
Very detailed.
It was a vulgar display of power.
A lot of power. But like the worst part about like everything was like waking up, right? Like, okay, so like she had passed out like after everything finished. And I had woke up like an hour later. I wanted to like readjust, you know? And I realized I was like, oh shit, I gotta call work till I'm not gonna come in. I used to go into work like 5:30 in the morning. And so I called at like 4, and like the guy Juan that I work with had picked up. He was like, yo, it's a Hispanic dude. And I was like, yo, I regret to inform you, but I ain't not coming into work today.
I wouldn't have either.
It was one of those nights, wasn't it? And I didn't say anything. Yeah. The only thing that came out of my mouth was just, yeah. So I had fell asleep again and woke up. And so now she's like, woke up and I was like, you know what? I banged this chick, so I might as well buy her breakfast. Like, I'll be a nice guy and buy her breakfast. And so I go and like, you know, we go to Dunkin' Donuts like right down the street. Like I forget what she ordered, but like I ordered like the same thing I always do, which is like that like a chocolate chip frappe kind of thing with like double
She
shot of
ordered a
espresso.
kid's meal.
Oh.
Damn.
You had to see that coming. Come on.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I didn't take her to McDonald's.
You're afraid she's gonna play in the play place.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Hey, like, and like the worst, like, okay, so like the other weird thing about it was that she kept it on.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I woke up with her like with it on.
You
She
know,
didn't take it off.
you could have whizzied in the ball pen.
Holy shit. I could have created another Wizzy
Missed opportunity.
in the ball pen. Like, what kind of, like, how would I tell a kid that, like, one day? Like, Daddy, tell me how you met Mommy. Well, she had this diaper fetish.
Oh
So I was like,
God.
don't
Pretty
worry,
sure that's
girl.
the part you
Don't
leave
worry,
out.
girl. You're gonna be working with a lot of diapers soon, cause I ain't pulling out. No, I mean,
Oh my
no.
God.
I mean,
I think
This
I'm pulling out of this interview.
I think
I think we're done here. That was actually supposed to be the closing song.
it was.
yeah.
I really just wanted to
Just end it right
I
there.
was done.
You guys want to talk about like how like I accidentally uploaded a photo of her naked body on Google?
Continue.
So, okay, at the time I had this Samsung Galaxy S5, and at the time Samsung had this cool thing that if you took a photo of something and it located GPS wise where you were, it would upload it to the Google Maps site,
Oh my God.
auto sync.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
at about 4 in the morning, no, not 2 in the morning, Google had uploaded a picture of some chick with her breasts exposed and a diaper on, getting railed by some dude for about like 7 hours. And she like the place that she lived at was like, you know, it was like condominiums. So like, I'm pretty sure that the people involved in the office are very involved with the community. So I'm more than sure that they probably, like, maybe they found out or maybe they didn't. What if they did? And I didn't know. Like, what if they confronted her about it? Like, yo, we saw like a naked photo of you, girl. You a freak.
That's very possible. But don't you think that she would have like gotten back to you and been like, yo, why the fuck did you do that?
Well, I don't know. Well, like what had happened was we had found out in the morning because I like had opened up my phone and I was like, oh, this is bad, so I deleted it. Right, and then she made me delete the photo because I was like, okay. So I did delete the photo, and I like, you know, and I had like kept it. I kept a copy of it in a secret folder I had in my phone. But I had broke that phone, and now I lost the photo. Because if anyone knows me, especially Andrew, I go through a lot of phones.
It's true. Whenever he would come over to my house, the first thing he would do would be take his phone out of his pocket, throw it in my front lawn, and then just come inside and just chill with me. And we'd be in here and like, you know, just talk, play music, bullshit for like a few hours. Then he'd leave. He'd go back into my front lawn, grab his phone, and just head out.
I heard it ringing. That was the most indestructible phone in the world.
Until it destructed. And then didn't the job that you had at the time, didn't they give you a free phone? And what Samsung Galaxy Note phone was that?
That was the 7.
I'm like, dude, they're trying to kill you.
yeah.
And funny thing is, like, they gave him a company car too, with a cracked block. And like, they're really trying to fucking kill you.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
there was a lot of things about that company. And I actually met I actually met one of my girlfriends in that company. Man, you know, it's funny I didn't get fired before I should have. I did a lot of bad things in that company. I banged like 6 CSR reps before I met this girl that I actually started dating instead of just banging her. And then I banged her in the office like a massive amount of times. And like the worst part about it is that this is like a job that my sister has been working at for like 8 years. Like no remorse. I'm sorry, Ninfa. But I slang that dick everywhere.
I think we're done.
Are you sure? Dude, no.
Lane?
I think I need to go home.
I need to go find out more about this daddy and me stuff, man.
Once again, shout out to
Oh God.
Hey girl, if you still out there, 727-437-9276. I don't mind doing it again if it's low key.
All right, YouTube, text Jeff.
Oh shit!
We're going to close out by listening to their newest single, TRC's newest single, Passport. Once again, go check out TRC. Go give Wizzy Incognito some love, especially if you're wearing a diaper.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Extra credit with the diaper.
There you go. Yeah. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Lane.
And I'm Wizzy.
Who the fuck are you again?
Some guy that just knocked on the door.
Get the fuck off the couch.
All right. See you later, guys.
We'll see you guys next week.
It's nice meeting you, pieces of shit.
I'm off to Kuala Lumpur to enjoy roti on banana leaf and cornucopia. Paying my respects to the Lord at Hagia Sophia. But my dream is to be Careening with a Phoenician feature sweeter than Priyanka or Quantico on Monaco beaches. It's a glorious Sunday. As the Airbus shuttles down the runway, I knew I'd be out of here one day.